I had a comment on the video where I made these covers for what I'm calling bass traps, asking what a bass trap is. And I need to start this off by saying that I am not an expert. I'm not pretending to be one. I know a little bit about this stuff. Sound and acoustics is a very complex topic, and I can give you the basics here. I can give you what I understand about it, but there are lots of resources where you can go and research this for, months on end if you want to, okay? So what I have here is a wall that I treated. This is the first wall that I treated, and in actual fact, this is supposed to be kind of a bass trap. All right, this was an experiment on my part. I'm not sure if it's going to work. Each of these panels is mounted in a kind of a frame, and the idea is that they will flex slightly. Not to the point where you're going to see them like a speaker cone going in and out, but it is a similar idea. And what they'll react to is the bass frequencies. And the reason why you want them to react to the bass frequencies is because in a small room like this, bass builds up, okay? It doesn't really have any way to get out. And the wavelengths are so long for the frequencies involved that they don't even fit into the room. So you want to have something that reduces the amount of energy they have. You'll be able to still hear it the same. You'll be able to hear it better, actually, because it won't be as smeared. Because as the bass bounces back and forth between walls, it overlaps and interferes. It gets bigger, it makes it smaller, it makes a total mess of it, in other words. So the less you can have of that by trying to treat it, the better what you're listening to will sound. So this is where I started. I started with this wall, and these are supposed to be a kind of a diaphragmatic absorber. And a diaphragmatic absorber reacts to pressure. So only bass will hit this wall. Well, every frequency will hit the wall, of course, but bass will be absorbed to a certain extent. I don't know what to what degree yet, because I haven't tested it, but I've measured the room. I've been doing measurements on the room as I've gone through. And this is the first one that I took, was with this wall done. And that's what you're looking at right now. I know that probably doesn't make a lot of sense to people, but what you're looking at is you're looking at the frequency range across the bottom from 20 hertz on the left to 20,000 hertz on the right. And it shows how long those frequencies are lingering in the room, showing how long it takes for them to fade away. Almost like an echo or a reverb that you'll hear. Like it's a bouncing, okay? So you want to get those reverb times down to a certain extent. You want to make it even right across. That's what you're looking for, okay? So the next thing that I did was I put rockwool inside these ones right here. These are what I'm calling my big bass traps. And they're in the corners of this front wall. There's one on this side and one on the other side. They're 24 inches wide. They're about 84 inches tall, which is the height of the ceiling in here. And they're 10 inches deep. That's what I built the wall out to make it deeper, because you need depth for this stuff to work. It will not work with thin stuff. You take that typical foam you see guys using, they stick it on the wall. That really doesn't do anything at all for bass. It just absorbs the high frequency stuff. Okay, from, I don't know how deep, it depends on how deep it is. It doesn't do anything below, say, 1K, 1,000 hertz. So it doesn't do anything to bass at all. To treat bass, you need depth. And you can do that with freestanding panels. A lot of guys will put freestanding panels in a room. They have to be fairly deep. You want to go for something that's 6 inches deep. Ideally, if it's a freestanding panel that you can position throughout the room, and you want to space it from the wall up to a maximum of the depth of the panel. That's what I understand. That's what I learned. So if you have a 6-inch panel, you want to space it maximum 6 inches from the wall. That's where it will be most effective. But you're using up 12 inches of space. So you can see where this, how much space this takes up to properly treat it. And you just can't put one panel in a room and expect for it to do anything. It won't work. So What you're looking at now is what it looked like after I put the rock wool inside those bass traps, just the rock wool. And then what I did next was I filled this entire wall with fiberglass insulation. You want to use rock wool sparingly when you're talking about depth. From what I understand, the deeper the trap is, the less dense the material should be, because it reduces the effectiveness of it if it's too dense. And the rock wool is dense. It's really good for freestanding panels, or if you're only going 6 inches deep to begin with, it's best for that. But if you're going out to 10 inches deep, you want to have less density. Okay, so that's why I use the fiberglass. Not to mention that the fiberglass is less than half the cost of the rock wool. It's a lot less expensive. And it's really not that much worse in performance. So I did this entire wall, and that's what you're looking at here again. In the meantime, none of the rest of the room was done. It was just this wall with this treatment here, this wall with the insulation in it. Now, what happens when you put too much insulation exposed? Okay, if you cover it with cloth, it's still exposed. The cloth doesn't stop any of the, it'll stop the very highest high frequency stuff, or, reduce it a little bit, but it'll stop nothing, basically, from going right through it. And so you'll absorb too much of the higher frequency stuff while you're trying to treat the low end stuff that has all the energy and all the power in the room. All right, so to fight that, I made these diffuser panels with all these holes, and I put over top of the bass traps that are in the corner and across the bottom. These are also bass traps, but not as well stuffed. Okay, they don't have any rock wool in there. They're just fiberglass. So what these holy diffusers do is they allow the bass to go through, but they reflect most of the high frequency stuff back because of the hard surface on the front. Okay, so that evens it out. So you get more absorption in the bass region and less absorption in the higher frequency stuff. So you get a more even, let's say, result, right? Rather than pulling the high frequency down way low. And that's what you're looking at here. So you can see that the high frequency stuff came back up and the lower frequency stuff dropped a little bit more. At this point, you're probably saying, wow, there's not much difference there. This doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot, especially down low. And that's true. It's very difficult to absorb the bass frequencies, especially in a room like this. This is 14 by 14, which is bad to begin with because you want to avoid a square room. What happens with the square room is you get modes, and that's the frequency where the wave is strongest, bouncing back and forth. And in this room, it's 37 hertz and 40 hertz. They're very close together. So you get 40, say, going this way, you get 37 going this way. That's really difficult to treat. And then not only that, you have the harmonics of that, which would be 80, well, 75 and 80, something like that. So you get very strong peaks there as well. But if you manage to treat those low frequency ones, which is the general concept here, then you'll get rid of those bigger ones as well. Because without the fundamental, you need to understand a little bit about sound here. Without the fundamental, you're not getting the harmonic, or you're getting less of it, okay? So I got 37, 40, 75, and 80. They're very strong modes within the room. The next thing I did was I built these diffuser panels that you see here. These are quadratic diffusers. They're fairly deep. They do not reduce the amount of bass in the room. What they do is they scatter the sound in a kind of coherent pattern. And the reason why I want these here is because of basically what I'll be doing in this room. I'll be listening to music a lot, and I'll be watching, say, movies and whatnot. So there'll be diffusion here, which will make the room seem bigger. Also, there'll be some diffusion behind the listening position. Listening position will be kind of center of the room there, away from the back wall. These speakers that you see here are just test speakers that I'm doing the room testing with. They're not the final speakers, but they'll be sitting in this place away from the front wall, away from the side wall. And the idea is to make a really good listening environment. And what you wind up with is the comparison with a pair of headphones. You put on a pair of headphones, you compare that to what you're listening to out in the room, and they should be very similar, okay? Now, some people probably don't like listening to headphones and say, wow, I don't want that. But they're different too, right? It's going to sound very clean, very not muddy, all right? So the diffuser panels, I made those, I got those in. The TV that you see here, I just basically hung that to get a good photo because I want to make a video on these panels and wanted to complete the picture. I'm not sure if this TV is staying here. This particular one that I have here, it's a smaller, cheaper one. And up here is another bass trap, except this one's open on the front, and it's 16 inches deep. So I've got more depth there. It's not very tall. It's only 8 inches on the inside, but it's 16 inches deep and it's almost 10 feet long. So it will absorb a lot of, well, I say a lot, you know, you expect the thing to drop hugely, but it doesn't. So I tested the room with all of this stuff in, with the diffusers, and that's what you're looking at right now. So the last thing that I did yesterday, after I had the TV put up, I was still, you know, quite energetic, is I put the fiberglass in the ceiling. Now the ceiling is another area that you can treat if you have access to it. And that's exactly what I did here. I put 2 layers of the fiberglass. It's R12, you know, it's like 3 inches thick. So 2 layers of that up there. And this will have cloth on there, and it'll also have slats. Very similar to what I did in my office upstairs. Same kind of look, except I'm going to vary the width of the slats to make the dispersion, say the diffusion that you get, a little bit more random. So that's another big project that's coming up. But now this is what you're looking at now. That's that measurement with that done. So you can see the kind of battle you have. When somebody says bass trap, you're not really trapping the bass. What you're trying to do is you're trying to reduce it, cut it down in some way. It's like you got a high-speed train coming, and you need to slow it down because you're not going to stop it, okay? So you pile some cars on the tracks. The high-speed train just plows through those cars, but it slows it down a little bit, but it keeps going. Right, that's the bass frequencies that high-speed train, they keep going. It takes a lot of space and technology to get them reduced to the point where they're no longer an issue, especially in a small room like this with a fairly low ceiling.